Where the other houses are.
No, the houses are outside.
Right from the houses, that's where the truck starts. What about the other half?
This opening is so
We can see the place was cleared by unknown people. We want to see the area, local leaders. We are not seeing any. There is the chair of the sector manager, NFA. But who are the people doing this? Who are the people clearing? Are you the ones as NFA? Why don't you have some? We need to see your presence since the forest reserve belongs. I am not happy that no one told the local people that we were coming at least to hear from them. We came to hear from the local community.
Madam, this area was vacant. There are no residents here. But there are people who have fake titles. They have titles on this land. And then there is NFA. NFA is currently here, but the others are not what? Are not here.
Being in touch with the RDC, now we are the ones supposed to wait for him in his area where there are many problems.
So where are they keeping those motorcycles?
There are the other houses where there's an apartment. In the two places. They are across the compound, across the area.
Anyway, because we are going somewhere else. So RDC.
The owners of the trees.
Hello?
They had planted.
Hello? Hello? I am
to call our chairman. I don't see. The phone is not on, but let me try to raise.
Are you from
Nze ndi wa ku kyalo kino Nyabu.
the farmers?
Yes.
Yes. Farmers, how do you stay in this area? You plant trees for yourself or for NFA, National Forest Authority?
They are licensed to grow trees as commercial for commercial plantations in the peri-urban area. Yes.
Director NFA. Ati kamba somere nsonge tulese. Awo myoke ndaga. Wade mumukire twitali mu buzibu. Katembeleno kata tobayeri. Katembeleno tunamu kadisi basuka. Yes. Social distancing. Never banga. The Executive Director, National Forest Authority, I was expecting the RDC of Mukono because we've been in touch. Has he arrived?
He's here with the mask.
Oh, the mask. Now I have forgotten. Yes. The RDC Mukono Metropolitan. This is your area and you know it much better. Commissioner of Police Moses Kafero, senior officers from the Ministry of Lands. Where are they? The senior, I know that the permanent
Anybody
secretary
from
sent. Yes, I got them
Minister
this
of
morning.
Lands.
The permanent secretary sent senior officers from Ministry of Lands. Israel.
Lands?
Where are these officers of Ministry of Lands? You people bring the key officials we came with. Where are they?
This is the secretary.
His Excellency, the Republic of Uganda, was informed that National Forest Authority land measuring about 500 hectares located in Goma Division and covering 2 parishes of Nantabulirwa and Setawan has been fraudulently divided and titled by the land that was filed by NFA that says it has documents of title. In August this year, a group of unknown people started clearing the land and cutting down other people or more, led by a one Tuliamreba Ruben, came on the said land with allegations that they were former occupants of the land and had been using it to lay bricks. On 29th of September, another group of people ranging from 800 to 1,000 were ferried by omnibuses onto the land and were registered by the same Tuliamreba and Kamuntu Myers. After each one paid 120,000 shillings for a plot of land of 50 by 70 feet respectively. On 30th of September still, another group came in the area, raising the number to approximately 1,500 people, and they were ferried from Kasokoso, Bukasa of Bweyogerere, while others came from various parts of the country, including Soroti, Ngora, Mbare, Mityana, Ruwero, to have a share of the cheap land, and that is in quotes. On the 1st of this month, October, police in Mukono intervened and forcefully removed the people who had entered the land. This matter not only raises issues of encroachment of protected areas, but also raises security concerns. We have therefore decided to come, and the purpose of our visit reach the following. And we have not decided by ourselves. We have been directed by His Excellency the President, who received this information, that we come and establish the following. We want to establish the ownership status of the land in question. Is it a protected forest? And what claims Buganda Land Board has on this land? We also want to establish the extent of damage of the forest. We want to know, and thankfully the police intervened, but they are yet to intervene. I hope among the people that are arrested to aid investigations, you have the Tuliamreba or Myers. The DPC will brief us. We want to understand the persons behind, we want to know the persons behind the encroachment and settlement on the forest and action taken against them. The titles created on the forest reserve land, and how these titles were created. We also want to establish the steps being taken by National Forest Authority to protect its interest in the land. And I want to thank the ED, National Forest Authority, who is present with us. And we want to know how they are protecting the land. We can see that there are still activities going on in the forest reserve. And so I am guided that the sector manager is around, and maybe will brief us on what steps you're taking, or who are the people involved in encroaching, or what are you doing as NFA. The ED will brief, will send a brief through me. I'm a mere coordinator. I receive complaints. I therefore urge you, the local people and the local leaders, and thank you for coming. I request that you have a free interaction with us. Tell us what has been happening. Tell us what you think are the right steps supposed to be taken to protect the forest reserve, to protect government interests, but also to have the people live in peace and protected the people themselves. You need to keep in your peace and stability. You must keep the peace yourselves, working with Uganda Police and all of us. Therefore, the president, and he has directed us to come and establish facts. Maybe the deputy will brief, and the KMP will share, because by the time 1,500 people attacked, maybe there was some problem somewhere. But after, the RDC will tell us what has been happening in the area, that we will request the residents or the leaders, the LC council leaders. I don't know who's present, but I am glad you came. You'll tell us what has been happening, and then the ED, NFA, will tell us what is planning to do, what we have been doing last. I thank you. DPC, please.
Individuals who claimed to have owned this land as a gift from the Buganda Kingdom. Allegedly, that the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museven, returned kingdom property, and the at the time when the trees were being cut. We conducted a number of operations which included impounding of graders and trucks. But two things. Those that were taken to NFA, we could not get feedback directly. The matters that we were handling, at some point, we could hit a dead what? End.
Sorry to interview. Bakulu mutuuliriza, bwe tuba twogera oluzungu oba tunaafunayo anatudiramu.
Luganda.
Akozesa Oluganda.
You speak Luganda.
Mbalamusizza mwena sijja kuddayo ebyemabega bye njogedde onaafuna omuntu akuliraanye n'asobola okubikyusakyusaamu. Ensonga z'ettaka eno oba ettaka lino mulimu owananyini nga bo bagamba balina ebyapa. Mu ebitongole ebyowananyini nga balina ebyapa. Mulimu abantu bo nga bagamba without proof nti ettaka lyabaweebwa nga Kabaka asiimye. Gavumenti we yamala okuddiza Buganda ebintu byayo, Kabaka n'asiima n'agamba mugende mukole ki? Naye eyo ye kategore eyabaddewo juuzi etaliiwo saawa zino nga bo baddukawo kati n'abamu ne tubakwata. Kuliko NFA eyali ya wa license abantu ab'enjawulo bakinoomu okusimbako ki emiti. Kuliko naawe abakubirako amatafaali naye nga bagamba NFA yakola ki? Yabawa. Emisango mingi gyagulwawo, egimu tugimanaginga wano, egimu gyagenda mu NFA headquarters. Ku kino ekyabaddewo wiiki ewedde abantu abataka wa 5 wansi w'ebitaano bazingako ekyalo kino nga bakozesa emmoloka ez'enjawulo okujja okugabana ebyo bye baali bagambye nti Kabaka yasiima n'agamba abantu bange bakole ki? Babeerewo. Naye nga w'okirondoola si kituufu. Lwakuba Kabaka bw'aba asiimye Buganda Land Board ekola ki? Ebibeeramu. So nga bakuŋŋaanya ssente mu bantu abo abajja nga beeyagalira. Naye abantu bano baava mu bitundu bingi. Waliwo abaava Engora, waliwo abaava Nakasongola, ne mu kibuga Kasokoso, Makindye ne Kirinya n'ebitundu ebirala. Ekikolwa ekyo mu kulaba kyali kya bubbi nga babba ki abantu ssente mitwalo 10 naye poloti eri kumpi n'ekubo mitwalo 2. Eyasala omuwendo tetumumanyi lwakuba ne bali tebamalayo kwogera bantu abaali bakola ki? Babajjamu ssente. Mulimu n'abapoliisi AIP ne bakansitebo 2. Tulina abantu 705 kuli kubatwala mu kooti leero. Ne pikipiki 909.
Lauden ne Kankama Mayas. Obaina Lauden ni
abo tetubayina.
Twangabe. Magama they are the leaders. Yamreba Lauden. Wakiwulirako?
Yes. Waliwo Lauden eyali akola mu NFA nga nkubira nnyo amasimu. Simumanyi simusisinkanangako. So simanyi oba yoyo oba mulala.
Abo be mwafuteko information gye bawadde egamba nti ekigenderwa kyabwe okujja mu 10,000 beyiwa ku ttaka protected area ebigenderwa biki?
Bayagala kufuna bifo byakubeeramu. Ate bwe baawulira nga ebbeeyi ya wansi ne bajja mu bungi.
Ani yali atunda?
Abaami bano n'abakyala, mulimu n'abakyala nga 17 tebayinza kuwa muntu mutuufu eyali atunda.
Muwendo gutwala mu kiwandiiko kyajja wa president kugamba mitwalo 12 buli plote ya 50 by 70 feet. Era nzirayo ani yasala omuwendo ani yali afune atwala sente ezo. Because now that you arrested some people nga bwewakwatako kwabo olina okumanya bo baali basasulani.
Tebana bakuvaayo kutugamba paka lwaleero omutuufu yali akuŋŋaanya ki? Sente. Naye nga sente zo bakola ki? Baziwaayo.
Ugambye mulimu n'abapoliisi mu byobumafu?
Basatu.
Okay. Katuulire sector commander and now I want to be in the area and you are seeing the protected area being approached on. Yes, the ED will speak last. The big people speak last. You must tell the people who you live.
Michael Ojavulo. I work for National Forest Authority. I've been around here since 2013 May. But when I came, we already have these wrangles on this land. But there were trees of private tree farmers. And they continue complying with the guidelines given by NFA by paying annually to NFA to grow trees. And for us, we know this is a forestry reserve. It is a forestry reserve. But now since we came, that is 2013, there are people who started parading land titles. But of course, we managed to sway them away. We made some arrests. Cases were reported to police. One of the land grabbers, the Daudi Chua's family, I think even one time we had a meeting with the RDC in the RDC's office.
The LC chairperson is here. Come, please. Abakulu anti mweba president wano. Mulele wano mu. Mweba lekuja abakulu.
So we had the engagement with the Daudi Chua's family in regard to the ownership of this land. I think along the way they understood, and the people who came changed faces. Because since that time, there were no much issues. Because people could come like 200,000, 200. They cut people's trees, but sometimes we make arrests, we report to police, but the DPC said the case hits a dead end. Because for us, we play our part, write our statement, and we know that the case will proceed, but the cases usually hit dead end.
Dead
Now,
end is what? Don't say
meaning
dead
it
end.
didn't
Where
from police.
do they die from?
Most of the cases from the police, they have not proceeded to court.
Now that we have the DPC, do you want to say that he has not been doing his work?
No, the DPC, many DPCs have been changed. But the problem is,
Records don't
record
change.
doesn't lie. But the cases have not proceeded up to the court level.
This last
Now,
incident,
the recent incident, it started on the 1st July. Personally, I got information that there are people who have brought graders. They wanted to grade the private tree farmers' trees. All this area, when you come, if you had come some 3 weeks or 4 weeks earlier, these are all trees, huge trees here. But now these guys started where those big lorries were. That is where they started. So when I came, I find a grader, and I met the chairman, LC1 of that site. But we were able to amicably stop the graders because their issue is land ownership. We saw if it is land ownership, they should carry their papers, they go to NFA. Because these are the first people I'm seeing them for the first time that time. Because we used to fight the battle with different people. These are different categories to me. I was seeing them for the first time. So I instructed them, including one Ethiopian. I instructed them they should go to our NFA office. And eventually the chairman intervened. He said that he's also going to follow it up with the NFA so that the matter of ownership are sorted. But before they go to our office to see that this ownership of this land is sorted, these guys went to police. They first went to Mukono police. The OCCID Mukono police called him. I briefed him. I think he was satisfied. And the land grabbers were not satisfied. They went to the region, KMP East. So that is where I was summoned on the 7th of July. I was charged for inciting violence and criminal trespassing in a forestry reserve. Being a law-abiding, personally I went. I think the regional CID is here. This is the other side.
among the people who came with have the common land
manager.
The sector manager, NFA, saying that the cases they have been reporting reached the dead end. How long have you been in this area?
land as alleged by the Chwa family?
LC3. I'm Beatrice Yiga. I've been LC3 of this area. During that time when I was leading this area, I went to Uganda Investment Authority, where they showed me a huge book where this area from there, because this is my area, this one, because I stay there, but from there. So they said they had planned for all this area. I even went to Investment Authority to ask for a place for the sub-county so that we take advantage of that planning. But I was told the land was still under Forest Authority. But they told me they would degazette the area. So we've been waiting for that day. And the president came and opened the investment area. So we knew this area was going to be occupied by investments which were sound. But later, being a neighbor to the land, some royal people came to my place, Barangira sort of. So they were saying that, you know, this land, some of this land, maybe part of it belonged to the late Chwa. So I also got to know about that. But I didn't get to know which people. And later, to summarize, I was told some of those people, the relatives of the late King Chwa, had sold off some parts of the land. But I also inquired, because I have an interest, being a neighbor. I said, who are selling? Because maybe I would also be interested in buying, in case it's no longer under Investment Authority. I was told the lease, the government lease, had expired for, I don't know whether the whole area or part of the area, that it had expired, and those people, the owners, I think they must be royals, they didn't renew. I was affected because I also am a member of the district land board. I would have preferred better development here than just maybe a slum, an area being slummy. But still I saw people, then the owners, the people they had sold to, they came and graded the area. But the LC1 is here. Hey, mbamanyiko abamu. Mbamanyiko. Mbamanyiko abali batunda eranga bagamba, actually when you came nkubiddeko n'omunemuga nga waliwo wana abazze ddala ettaka lino lyammwe baga lease expiring. So it's important when you go back omanyire ddala ebya investment bajja kubuulira, omanye ebya expire of the lease byaggwako, omanye ebyabaki ebyabalangira nabo, part of the land that still belongs to the government, neno party ekolaki enyabo kati yes.
President yatusindise tumanye the status of all this land naye kati kyetuwulirako kati. So abalandizi bali wano, mukulu wa NFR wano, polisi yino, ekya investment bano abalandizi balina okutugamba oba erinamu what, but also the commandant of land unit in police. All this is happening, and you have to take responsibility.
Madam, ne batugamba bana basimba emiti nti baba compensating, I don't know, perhaps the LC1 anatubuulira. Ekirala, they were given lease of 25 years. Nange nali nsabyeko mu forest nga batuwa 5 years. Kakati newunya lwaki ate forest bawa 25 years. Era awo nawo waliwo ka question. Olubera abadde nga bawa 5 years. Kati ate lwaki bawa 25 years. Ba farmers, nange nali farmer eri ekitale.
Amanya gange nze Waswa Alex, nze chairperson w'ekyalo ekirinaanye wano Gwafu West, ekitandikira awo kiddako awo. Era ensonga eno eri mu ttaka lyerimu ne mu kitundu kyaffe. Ekyalo bakiyita Gwafu West. Gwafu West. ensonga zino zituta akabanga ndozo okuvanga mu 2017 awo twatandika okumanya nti waliwo abantu abajja nga bakireminga ettaka naye nga buli we bajja NFA ekola ki ebagoba ne bajja ku ttaka. Of recent bajja ne bagamba nti baafuna ebiwandiika abamu balina n'ebyapa ebyaggweera ddala birina mu mannya gaabwe ebyapa babifunira mu kooti. Bwe bajja ne tutegeezaako abalinako emiti nti waliwo ebyapa bye twafunyeeko wano copies n'ebiri mu kitundu kyammwe ne batugamba nti abo bafere temudiringa naki nabo. Ne tubagamba tetujja kugamba nti bafere. Twali tuli awo omukyala najja, mukyala bamugemeero yajjako ku ttaka lino era ku nsonga y'emu. Era n'ababuuza nti mulina ebiwandiiko ne bajja ebiwandiiko ne babimulaga bulungi nnyo ebikakasa nti be bannannyini ki ttaka. Twagenda okulaba nga tewali response gye bakoze era ne basigala nga bakyajja bannannyini ttaka. Mu abo bannannyini ttaka mwe muli Luwangula Estates, mulimu Ujingo Wilfred, mulimu Pendo, mulimu Abdukarim. Be bakireminga okuba nti balina ki ettaka era nga ebiwandiiko bye balina bya gavumenti. Oluvannyuma awo twafuna ne report gye baatuleetera eva mu Ministry of Lands ng'eraga nti ettaka lyabwe balinako obwannannyini. Ebiwandiiko byonna tubirina babituleetera mu ofiisi yaffe naye twagezaako okutuukiranga bano bannaffe oluusi ba NFA nga bagamba tebasobola na kusoma biwandiiko ebyo kubanga byabafere. Tetwagenda nnyo mu maaso katugenda okulaba waliwo forces ezijja abantu batekinga position balina ebyapa byabwe naffe tulina we tusobola balwanyisa nga oli azze n'ekyapa ki. Ensonga za Daudi Chwa twazuulirako era nabo bajja wano ne bagamba nti ettaka lino liri mu estate yaabwe
balina n'ebyapa.
Era Daudi Chwa yakolaganye ne Luwangula Estates kuvira ddala mabega babadde batambulira wamu. Bwe batugamba nti Luwangula yebayambyeko okugenda mu kooti obago baganyizaako abantu ku ttaka lyabwe era ndooza Luwangula y'ensonga lwaki eri kuki ku ttaka lino eri wano nga yaleetebwa Chwa famire ya Chwa nga n'omugenzi Simbu akyaliwo babayita wali mwatala sotere mukono ne babakwasa obuvunaanyizibwa baddukanye ebintu bino.
Mpata Patrick chairperson nantabulirwa LC1 wali waggulu wali we mulengerera emotoka amazima amatuufu nasooka nga defense. I just thank God nti nkyali mulamu kubanga nabeera nga defense nga manye ettaka lyaki NFA ng'ogwange gwakugadinga ettaka lino. Lwali lumu was it in 2018 abantu ne bajja nga bazze okunyaga ettaka n'engenda n'abaserikale ba police as defense. Ekyamalamu eri amasasi gye gali nena amasasi gye gali. I survived nalale nenvaayo. Naye kati abaagala okunyaga ettaka like they came of recent. Yes. Kati of recent nga nfuse chairperson nga nfuse do DPC teyaliwo. DPC yaliwo baali bamuyita Mugume. Kati kyenjagala okumaliza nakyo of recent nga ndi Ssentebe twajja n'omwami ono nga baleese ogutractor. Ono agamba ettaka lyaffe ndiwo ku lwa NFA. Bali bagamba tulina ebyapa byaffe naawe prove nti byammwe. Ne mbagamba nze saagala lutalo mu kyalo kyange. Go back mujja kudda n'ebiwandiiko. Bakomawo after just 3 days. Ono najja n'abajasi bali nga balese grader ku gradinga. Nenfuna omukisa ng'ono yayogerako ne ED. N'atugamba nti nayogedde ne ED. N'agamba ba chairperson mujje tu meeting. Indeed, twagenda ne tu meetinga ED. Twagenda n'omu ku bannannyini ttaka Bujingo yali neero yawe n'agamba empapula zange zizino ED mbuulira oba nagula kicupuli kubanga nze naweebwa olukusa mu kooti. ED n'atugamba nti ba chairperson mugende muyambe okutabaganya bannannyini ttaka n'abaalimako emiti. Ne tujja abaalima emiti nga bagamba yes manyiko bujingo ali omu ku baasendanga bolaba bwe baasenzaawo kati ne kubeerako omulala si mutuuze si mutuuze ne kubeerako omulala gwe manyi kuliko Bob ne kubeerako ne Suna naye nga ababaguza ye famire ya Daudi Chwa babaguza batya bagenda mu kooti nga baavu nga bano be babayamba okubawa sente then later alone mu kooti kwe kufuna ettaka eryo okubawa olukusa mu kooti era ffe singa EDITH yagamba nti mugende muyambe okutabaganya ndowooza wano tewandibadde nga walifaanana bwe wati yes EDITH NFA byatugamba nti mugende muyambe okutabaganya tugamba kati kuno tukakasiza nga ttaka si lya NFA yes
ono RDC ka
mbadde wano mwaka gumu n'ekitundu
chairman
ensonga zino binakazuurako bye bino 1 nti ettaka lino lya NFA mu kutandika ettaka maapu eriwo ettaka lya NFA era tewabeerawo tteeka lya palamenti erikyusa nti lino ettaka si lya NFA. Ekyokubiri waliwo baafuna ebyapa ku ttaka lino ebyapa bya liizi nga babiweebwa Uganda Land Commission. Ettaka ebyapa ne babituuza ku ttaka lya NFA aba Uganda Land Commission ne batuuza ebyapa ku ttaka lya NFA. Abookusatu ne wabeerawo balina ebyapa ebyamayiro nabyo ne babituuza ku ttaka lya NFA. Now ekirungi abalandizi bali wano nze kinjagala kumanya waliwo etteeka lya palamenti lyakyusa ekifo kino kya NFA. Ekyokubiri kisoboka ekyapa kya mayiro okutuula ku liizi etteeka bulanga telinabaawo ebyapa ebya liizi ne mayiro bisobola kutuuzibwa ku ttaka lya NFA. Now ensonga ebbiri zitulese wano lwaleero nafuna okwemulugunya abasimba emiti mu mwezi gw'omunaana nti waliwo baleese tractor okusenda emiti gyabwe. Nimpandikira DPC nimugamba nti mbwangu n'embiro mugende muyimirize graders tuzonoona miti gy'abantu. Yes, it's in writing.
In August?
Yeah, in August. Ebaruwa weri you shall give it out. Nimbagamba emiti gy'abantu tugyonooneka. And I'm told bajja n'abantu ne babakwata. Kati njagala kumanya bwanga babakwata ne babahanga ndinga NFA kiki kyaddako.
Yes.
Wangu gwaffe twagukora. Kuva olunaku lusadde mukulya kintu kirala. On Monday ninfuna mawulire nti waliwo baze kuwamba ettaka n'okutunda actually. I was in Matasaka ne meeting ninvaayo. Bunatuuka wano nintuuza abo byokwerinda nintuuza DPC ne DISO ntukanya nti bano abantu tebasobola kubeerawo. We cannot allow anarchy here. Era olwokusatu ntubajjawo. Naye mu kubajjawo n'abagamba munoonye oyo ali mabega w'okutunda yaani ani abaleeta. Erinnya Ben tulyamureeba ndifunye emirundi giwerako. Waliwo n'omulala bamuyita Kabuye ne Reuben bunawulira. But what I have not identified mu bakwatibwa oba babiri abo mwebali. N'olwekyo lino ettaka abo bano abasembye okujja bakozeseddwa bukozeserwa. Naye ng'ekigendererwa kinene be bano balina ebyapa babifuna batya ku ttaka lya NFA. then ekisembayo information endala eriwo ndowooza onakyogera who was opening boundaries ogede coping boundaries information endala waliwo amataka 2 aba Daudi Chwa balinawo ettaka naye ettaka eryo lirimu abatuuze kati beki basalawo batunde lya gavumenti kubanga eri mu batuuze tebalina bakola ki bagendayo n'olwekyo nze kindowooza NFA eteeka kutubuulira ettaka lyayo basiryayo randi zeteeka kutubuulira ebyapa ebyo byavaawa era babiwa mu buyinza ki bye batukonaganya bokka then police emisango gyonna gibadde gikolebwa gikomawa I think answering ebyo ebibuuzo ekizibu kyawono kiba kiwedde era tree planters are still here. I know some of them are you here abasimba emiti yes bananyini emiti abo
bananyini emiti gyayo no
yes kubanga NFA abamutongole musimbe ekibira ekyo ku lwaffe ne basasula sente mu government yes etteka lisigale lya government naye nga basimbyeko emiti sikya gye banange those are the issues.
Nze Lubayiza Wilson, secretary Namanve Tree Farmers. Muwulira ffe abalimi tuli basanyufu okulabako era weebala okujja kati Namanve yenna nga bwali ovira ddala ebukaseeri 2012 bagisulamu ebyapa ne boonoona nga bwe baayonoona wano abalimi ne tugenda mu kkooti 2013 Desemba nga 2 ne tuwangula Attorney General mu High Court era omulamuzi yalagira nti ebyapa ebiri muno byonna mu Namanve ebifu 2013 Desemba nga 2 tebyapa ebiri muno byonna bifu ekyo esebo 2013 Desemba nga 2 ne tutambula awo mpola mu 2015 bukasanga amaze ogabanyizibwamu bwatyo beegabira kale ng'ekibadde wano kakati ffe ne tugamba nti tumanyi tuli balimi tulina layisinsi tuli mu butuufu eno forest reserve ayinamu ebyapa agenda awabire gavumenti yamuwa ekyapa naye ffe batulekera ebyapa 2015 wano abo balangira ne bajja abaluwangula basooka Buganda Land Board ne tugaa nti gye muva tumanyiyo okutuukayo Mengo yabigaana nti tebamanyi okiwulidde naye bo ne basigala nga bagenda mu maaso 2017 abaami abo n'abakyala oba ono yali chairman yali tanaba chairman ne baleeta abantu ab'emundu wano abawera 7 for a whole week
abapoliisi nga baze kuuma
abananyini byapa nga baleesa abantu ab'emundu ne waliwo private guards naye nga balina emundu AK-47 ne tugende wa owekitiibwa bamugemerere ntumugaye nti owange abantu batukiriza kugenda mu biro byaffe najja n'abagobamu n'awandiika n'ebbaluwa ne DPC n'amuwaako nti tewali muntu adda wano okutuusa ng'ensonga zino zigonyo ne tuwumulamuko 2017 ne bakomawo n'abapoliisi njukira yali afande batabayire nali njogera naye nga bwe njogera naawe nti poliisi 6 ne power source 10 ne basala hectares nga 10 ne tugende wafande byakagaba abasi ku lunaku olwo n'abayimiriza ne bagenda kati wano juzi mu July ne bajja wali ono mukulu twamusangayo nga chairman ne tuyita ne bukedde ne monitor ne bajja ne tugaa nti tutemera miti ne bwe mubanga muyina ebyapa ne gye tuli yonna tuli ku ttaka lya Kabaka era tatugubangako n'olwekyo temututemera miti ne bagaana nti ffe tetugambibwako okuva olwo baali baluwangula beeyita baluwangula naye ng'ekituufu beeyita baluwangula is just fake title kati ow'ekitiibwa okuvaawo nga 25 okupalanika n'August mpandiikidde Minister wa Lands, tuwandiikidde owa Environment, tuwandiikidde ne NOO. Naawe n'ozifunako era nja kusaba ekitiibwa okkirize
nze ndi mukozi nja kukitwala
otyo.
Naleese abakulu abalina okunyonyola ensonga zino ne bazikolako. Kusaawa eno nja kusaba mukulu wa poliisi ali wano, Commissioner Kafeero, the Commander, Kampala Metropolitan, etwala ne mukono yonna ayogere ku lwa poliisi. Naye nze kyenkusaba ekikulu olina okuteekako obukuumi. Ebisigadde simanyi oba tukyalinayo emiti, but ensure that the press is well protected. N'abantu baffe aba bulijjo baleme kweraliikirira to live in fear. Bali ku bunkenke. Abantu 10 okujja ne bakusanga ku kyalo kyo ne bakugoba. Mutusonyiwa abali mu security, ekyo nakyo mwalimu obunafu bw'amaanyi on the side of security. Tekyandibaddewo. So, the officer Kafeero, you know about the land.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lieutenant Colonel. All the protocol observed. Once again, my name is Wilson Ogaro. I'm the commissioner in charge of surveys and mapping. As this meeting has just progressed, we learned that there are issues between NFA, there are issues with the Milo lands, and then there are issues with the Uganda Investment Authority land. Whenever such issues come up, we, as the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, always require for what we call a boundary opening. The boundary opening opens our eyes and will show us that NFA starts here and stops here. Daudi Chua starts here and stops here. Uganda Investment Authority land starts here and stops here. So the issues which you have here can only be sorted out by boundary opening. Once you give us that chance to open, we are able to show you where all these lands lie. Even if you have
from the regional CID that they have, come and maybe repeat. Region. They are saying,
has the boundary?
Come and tell us about the boundary opening.
Yeah.
Is the report out?
Is it a survey? Is it a boundary opening?
Was it done by Minister of Lands, Minister or private surveyors?
By Minister of Lands.
Minister of Lands. Who signed?
Yes.
You signed?
Yes.
So don't tell me that I'm the one supposed to give you the chance when you have already done. You better own up what your mistakes are. Really. Don't. If the report, no, talk about the report because the commissioner seems not to know his own report.
No, the field. I have the field survey.
That's why I contacted the permanent secretary to send the right people to talk about this issue.
Yeah, so I think at this juncture, let us go. I don't know. I think we better summarize. We're not going into. Let's just summarize in brief. So when those issues came up between NFA, Daudi Chua land, and the Uganda Investment Authority, the ED requested for a boundary opening. I tasked the surveyor, Mr. Arthur Akanga, to carry out the government, is a government surveyor, to carry out the boundary opening. The boundary opening report is out and is here. So what in short is going to do is just going to summarize everything. But otherwise, what normally we do, we write to the local authorities around, the RDC, LOC1, to be present during the boundary opening exercise. For you to what? For you to be present during the exercise. A transparent exercise.
At least you have never informed us. Like in my case, I was not aware.
Okay. Okay. So now what you do, you go ahead and summarize.
LOC1 even was not involved.
You tell us what
No. Just summarize.
If you have already issued the
Can you summarize? Maybe what you do, summarize for me. Our findings, he's going to read through the findings and then the conclusion.
These are too many. What we need is action.
Okay, you go straight. You see, you go to here.
Because we are not here.
You read here.
What is not helpful.
Okay, conclusion. From the boundary opening exercise, these are the results. Please you read.
All the titles that are had by different claimants are actually on Namamve Central Forest Reserve.
Or what?
All the titles that the other claimants have are on Namamve Forest Reserve.
So
who are those claimants and who issued them the titles on government land? Because that's the question we need. You need to answer. Who gave titles on government land? That is the question you're supposed to answer, and that was the purpose of the leadership here requesting for boundary opening. Can you tell us?
Are those titles genuine?
There. Are the titles genuine?
Did you investigate the process? They cannot.
Who issued them?
We stopped at the mine.
At least I can see the sentence here.
The sentence is
no, maybe
the sentence is saying all the above titles are on Namamve Central Reserve Forest.
Who created those overlapping titles?
Who signed them?
Oh, it was the what?
Commission
No. The first leasehold. Okay.
Because those must be overlapping titles. You confirmed that the land belongs to the government. Then you are saying that all titles. Who issued those overlapping titles?
The first lease was from the Ghana Investment Authority.
Anyhow.
The first lease was from the Ghana Investment Authority. They were asked us.
Land protection unit.
The Ghana Investment
There is a
Authority.
problem with the officials.
No, we are going to.
To sort this out.
No. The. Yeah.
We cannot save anything here. We have seen the problem.
Yes.
You went and created titles on government land. People have suffered enough. No. Anyway, we have seen where the problem is. Mama tetuyina birala kati ekizibu tukirabye we kiri. Tugenda ku investigating. Mama ebyettaka eriryo ebyo byo tetujja kubiyingiramu kati tuli kulya gavumenti olaba nalyo balibbye so kati bano investigation stands. Let the ED speak last. We have discovered where the number one problem is.
Thank you very much, the Resident District Commissioner, and all protocol observed. Colonel, this place here has given us sleepless nights for the last 2 years. We have fought battles here. Some of us have been sued in our private capacities. And if it was not because of the power, I think these land grabbers should be having some power somewhere. This forest would not have been cut.
Police is also not doing its work.
This forest should not have been cut.
How was the whole area cleared when police was seeing? Now we are here standing.
Because when they arrested, when my staff here was supposed to be arrested, I want to really thank the regional police, the CID, who intervened. When he called the file, he wrote to me to appear before him to answer charges on my land. I was also a suspect with my officers, but the RPC helped to save my officer from going inside. That one is something which I wanted to set the record right. But when we sat in the RPC's office together with the regional CID, I told them that the only solution to this problem is to open the boundary. Unless we open the boundary, we are not going to solve the problem in Namamve, because it has been on for a long time. That was the time when I wrote to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands. And when the PS replied me, saying, I'm assigning you Ugalo here, Akanga here, and then Vianney, Lutaya. The land grabbers again threatened to sue all of us. Now they started with me. Ugalo was number 2, Vianney number 3, Akanga number 4. So if they had not done that, these people could have opened the boundary immediately and saved the forest. But because they tried to sue, these people again feared. So they took another 2 weeks before now we resolved and said, come what may, let us go and open the boundary. Now, one thing which I want also to put straightforward, when RDC, you have been in here. This place you are seeing here has 3 different sets of titles. There is the leasehold, which was created by Uganda Land Commission. Then there were freehold titles created by Mukono, Zonal Land Office. Then now the worst one is that they converted public land into a Milo land. That is the last one. A public land was converted into to a Milo land. How do you create Milo title? It was created on this land. So we have 3 sets of title here: leasehold, freehold, and Milo.
But you see, sir, the problem is with the Minister of Lands. They are the ones causing all this confusion, and the commissioner is here, also not aware of what he has already
But
said.
also, Kano, there is something also you need to know. Police has a department called Environmental Police.
Yes.
To protect forests and wetlands.
Yes.
Where is it in this fact?
Now, the Environment Police was here. These are the people we have been fighting with until it reached a point when their commandant, they also wrote to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Water, threatening to sue the commandant in person if he doesn't stop deploying people in their land. So here it was a matter of threat. They threaten you. You are fearing to go to prison. But the truth is, this has been a forest reserve since 1932. This place was gazetted first in 1932. And it has never been degazetted. Part of Namamve was degazetted in 1997, you remember, for creation of the industrial park. So when part was degazetted, some part remained, which was supposed to be maintained as a forest to absorb the pollution coming from the industries. So this was one part which remained. We have 2 other compartments behind Namilyango College, which still have forest there. And I know, but also it has titles in all of them. They have also titled all of them.
129 has been destroyed, my trees were cut.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. So that is what has been happening here. Now 2010, and it continued. The first titles to be created here were created by court order. Court ordered Ministry of Lands to create titles in a forest reserve. And they had no option but to come and create titles.
No, you cannot be misguided when you are a professional. And you can do what
that is what happened. So they created title because they were saying this land belonged to Daudichwa. And yet the surveyors were saying Daudichwa's land is up there. This is government land. So instead of going where there are squatters, they came to a vacant land which had only trees. They thought that one is easy to get. So that is what happened here. So I'm very happy that you have picked interest in this. I think now we are coming to the conclusion.
It's a presidential directive.
Here. These were big trees here. There was one here which was even written on forest reserve, just around here. But they were all cut.
But all those were destroyed in the presence of police, because police has always been there where the leadership changes.
And I remember when I wrote to him to request for security for this place, he even wrote, I have a letter you wrote and you called my staff. He said, RPC ensures the trees are not cut. He wrote, the commandant here wrote the size. It is 144 hectares, this compartment. But there are other compartments on the other side. This is 144 hectares. If you want to know in acres, you multiply by 2.47. Then you get the number of acres. That could be about 300.
So when you ask for you receive the feedback?
The report was written to me. This report was written to me and copied to the regional police commander because we were party together. We discussed and agreed that we must open this boundary to solve the problem. So I have the report. Yeah. The report is saying this is a forest reserve. It has never been Milo land.
I will not explain it, but was going to give us a direction. You open the boundaries for this place. I want to get it clear. You are talking about titles being on this land, but where did you find the Chwa's land? Where is the Chwa land? Is it also sitting here or it is sitting across?
That is Chwa's land. Where is those houses?
Because as I was following, taking notes, I discovered that the royals are claiming that they also have land here. NFA claims it has land here. Then individuals claim they have land titles on top. So my work, why I wanted clarification is that I want to find out where do I put Daud Chwa and the royal piece of land, where is it? Then two, I tackle the issue of these individuals who have titles on this piece of land. They are talking of, they were created as a result of a court order. we shall follow and find out where was the weakness. Because if I am in court and I have all the evidence that this land is for NFA, I believe NFA was in court.
It was not.
Okay, who was sued?
The people, there was a lawyer of Daudi Chwa who represented them in a case, and he was supposed to be paid. Daudi Chwa's family had no money. So the lawyer decides to sue Daudi Chwa's family to get his money. When he sued, then they agreed that he's going to pay them with the land. Now, paying them with the land, they are supposed to go and get land where? Up there. So for him, they brought a lawyer here.
Now, madam, I still come back. I still come
That
back.
is what
to
happened.
These are the people who survey. They have the records of all land in the country. Now, how do you allow a survey of Daudi Chwa's land where you have a record in Entebbe to come again and allow and certify somebody getting land on top of already surveyed land?
Commander Mtunji, we
So
have
these are
already
the issues.
established.
These are the issues. We shall not leave anyone to be safe in this.
We have
We
already
must
established.
answer for our faults because police is being faulted every time. But the problem lies with us, especially with people who are in government. Because you come to chase somebody and he tells you I have my land title.
Yeah.
And the land title is genuine. It's unfortunate that we don't have the commissioner for land registration, madam. Those who make
The commissioner is here. No, the commission. No.
This one
This is
from
surveys.
Museven.
This is surveys.
But those who create titles.
Didn't you come with your two other stuff?
Madam, we have an issue.
Did you
Those
come
who
alone?
create titles, who sign titles.
Those who
Yes.
create titles and sign them.
Why
But
should
you
we-
see, police,
But we are going to
you work
investigate
with
all this.
You work with lands in these matters. Of course, you as the commandant, land protection unit. This is not new. You should have found out the issues. We have already established that the problem was actually, should I say, engineered by the Ministry of Lands officials.
And Uganda Land Commission,
And
I'm
Uganda
told.
Land Commission, of
These
course.
are government
again,
entities.
they
Now-
work together. Anyhow, Commander.
Thank you so much. For me, I'm a born of Mokono here, Kauga. I used to pass here long ago and it used to be a forest in the 70s. So all the changes have been discussed in this meeting and the investigations. How again it came to be owned by people, etc. But it used to be a forest. But now the issues I have here, this habit of occupying vacant land, abantu ne bagenda ne bajja ku ttaka ekkalu basengewo without any permission authority is criminal. Kati ffe bali be twakutte ensanvu mu mukaaga already file is sanctioned today they are supposed to appear in court. So bwe tunaalabawo abalala bonna, I've already moved with the DPCs here, but I've moved with the regional police commander, the deputy is here. I've already given him instructions. The RPC is sick. He put here deployments, but he's going to add more people. Abasirikale babeerewo. Kuba abo abajja okunyaga ettaka nga bali abajja simanya nti 100. Balina amajambiya. Balina all those are tools of criminality. Balina pikipiki 9 pikipiki 9 zitekola. That means not only do they grab land, but they also steal or rob around. Criminality tutujja kugikkiriza. Era nga kano nakamawaga, we are maintaining permanent deployment here. Nga investigations zigenda mu maaso abaga byapa tubirina mwamifuna bitya abagamba fechwa simanya mwajja muta ku kibira nga investigations zigenda mu maaso ffe nga tukuuma ettaka bwe liti. Already damage was done nga mwe mulaba. And really it is very wrong. It used to be a very green forest. Even the private people who are here, you had planted very nice trees. That was wrong on our side. And the ED says so. I've ever written, because I had fears that there are people who are trying to cut trees, that those trees should not be cut. So I'm also going to investigate in detail. At what stage did the police look on when they are cutting the trees to make it bare? However, lastly, for me, I thank the RDC and his team, because when people had invaded, he came in quickly. Even rang me, I gave him more manpower. With his security team, they chased them off. So we are going to ensure that we support the RDC, that no more people come to grab. But also to find out the sellers, because I had my DPC here dodging that question. who was selling, how much, because you can't determine a price. That means there was a determinant of a price. So that person, we are going to get him, or those persons, plus the names mentioned. Those who settled them, they arrested, but also those who brought them. So for us, we are going to do our best. Strangers. Then lastly, private security companies. Here we want police. Because we are not going to create factions here.
No, private security firms are for those with titles.
Oh, okay.
So you chase them.
Okay. I thought the grabbers had also brought. Then that's okay. The good thing RDC will guide us.
Yes.
If they are in order.
No, they are not in order.
Oh, then because police is there, why should we have factions? So that's all I had, Thank you.
No, we can't continue listening to individuals. We are going, we have understood the issues, we have to stop at this. Because I don't think we are bringing any new. It is not a new.